Hello everybody and welcome to my very first video write-up from the room Picke. We are going to do this room together today and I guess we're starting. So let's see. The very first thing apart from connecting yourself to the Tryhackme network would be to read the description. This Rick and Morty themed challenge requires you to exploit a web server to find 3 ingredients that will help Rick make his potion to transform himself back into a human from a pickle. Okay, this is really short and easy to understand. What I recommend you to do is doing notes while you do a room, because doing notes is something that might be really helpful after some time. And yeah. We just need to wait until the room started completely and give us our IP to use with this room. One thing you can do if you don't really want to remember an IP is to insert the IP into your host file and to give it a proper name. We could do this, but for this room it's not really necessary, so let's wait. And what I also want to tell you is, if you're doing a room and the IP just showed up, wait 1 to 2 minutes, because sometimes the room takes a bit to load up. So what is the very first thing we are going to do? You can see it here on my terminal in the top right corner. The very first thing we are going to do is nmap, because port scan is one of the most important parts of the enumeration process. So we have our IP here. Let's copy it and put it into our notes. Now, what we want to do now is we want to know what ports we can use. This is an easy room, so you don't really need to scan all of the ports. You can do it, of course, but you don't really need it. Let's say nmap -sc -sv -t5 and then our IP. Let's start this process because we want to know what services are running and what we can rely on. The next thing we are doing is a deer search, but one thing after another. We can now, because we already know that we have a web server, this is quite obvious, it's already here, we can already access this URL. And look what we find here. Help Morty, listen Morty, I need your help. I've turned myself into a pickle again and this time I can't change back. I need you to log into my computer and find the last 3 ingredients to finish my pickle reverse potion. The only problem is I have no idea what the password was. Help Morty, help. So there we have a ton of information. First of all, he says log on to my computer and find the last 3 ingredients, which basically means, obvious, we need 3 ingredients. So then we need to log on to something. And we have web server, so you can already have an idea what we need. Plus, he has no idea what his password was. So we need a login name and a password to access this. What we have here is an SSH server and an port 80 HTTP. Obvious, we have this one here. So what we are going to do now is the following. I will use deer search to understand what we will find on this web server. Oops, my bad. I should have put in the IP in there and not the text I just copied. Insert and let it run a bit, because we want to know what is on the server. We need something to log in and we need a password. The very first thing we can do now is to look on a file called robots.txt. This is something that you don't really need to search, because robots.txt is on most servers and it shows in search engine how to crawl a website and what it is allowed to do. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Insert it here. We don't know yet what it is. And one thing you can also do in almost every box is to look into the source code. In most cases you can't see it right here, but it's right-click view source code. Then you come here and you might see something. This here. No, not all. We only need the comment. This comment says, note to self, remember username Rick Rules. Alright, we have our username. But what we need right now is a password, the 3 ingredients, and a login or something like this, because we want to know where we can log into Rick's computer. So let's see what our terminal does. It found a folder called assets. That doesn't really sound like something to log in. So we won't get into this. There we have something, login.php. Let's see what we have here. Login.php. Will this lead us to a website? No, not found. Oh, it's not login.php, it's login.php. Portal login page, username and password. We already found the username. Rick Rules. What do we have now? What do we need? We have www, and we can try to insert it into this login mask. Let's just try, out of fun. Maybe it's the password that we are missing. And yep, we are in. We have a command panel. In normally case, we would have done for enumeration something used for the tool Nikto to analyze the web server even further. We could do this, but it's not really what we need to do here. So now we are in the command panel and we have comments to use. In normally cases, this would be a huge security risk. But let's see. ls-la. And we have the directory here and the super secret ingredient.txt. This would be our first one. But if you want to read it, it will say, and let's see, I can't really show you the flag, so let's read cat clue.txt, and it says comment is disabled because it won't let you read the comment and the read file. So what do we do against this? There's something called less, and we could definitely use less to read the file. It's this file, not the file that we need to use, because I can't show you the flag, so yeah. In normally case in CTF you have 2 files to read, the user.txt and the root.txt, so the user flag and the root flag. The user.txt is mostly in the user directory, so let's see what will happen if we have home. We find this here, Rick and Ubuntu. Alright, this sounds promising. Home, Rick. And there we have it, the second ingredients. Like I said, there's a user flag and the root flag, which makes us think about, okay, we need a root flag, right? Then let's see what we have here. This is our base directory that we need to use if we want to explore Linux system. And there you might see the root directory. This will be quite easy, right? Let's see if we can do this. Obviously not, the root directory is protected. What do we do now if we don't have the rights to look into this directory? Well, there's a simple command called sudo-l. With this, we can view what we are allowed to do on the server. We are basically allowed to do everything. So why not just use sudo ls-la root. And what do we have here? The third.txt. So if we use sudo, we can also use sudo with less on this file, and bada boom, we have our 3 ingredients. And with this, we are finished. If you use less on all 3 files, you are finished with this room. Like I said, I can't show you the contents, but this is it. You are done. This is one of the most easiest rooms of Tryhackme, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you the next time. Bye bye.